Hi everyone, I'm Coach Greg. Today we're going to cover a very important topic in the field of sport, and specifically, we're going to talk about periodization. First of all, let's look at what it is and how to incorporate it into your training plan. Periodization, in simple words, is load planning, creating a system of manipulating variables such as intensity, volume, training frequency, rest intervals, exercise selection, and order. Planning is all about arranging these variables in order to get the maximum efficiency in achieving your goals over the short and long term. Planning usually divides the training process into time periods: week, month, 6, 12 months. And this is where adaptation to the individual athlete comes into play to adjust the periods to his reality. The purpose of periodization is to create a structure of variability and load to avoid stagnation, overtraining, injury, and to create conditions for progress. There are several types of periodization, such as linear and wavy. The principle is linear, from less to more. It is common to start a plan with high volume and low intensity, and then go to low volume and high intensity. This principle is very good to work in bodybuilding and in powerlifting if you put a linear strategy for a large period. Wave-like periodization involves regularly alternating between light, moderate, and heavy intensities during the week and sometimes even during the day, if there are several workouts per day. Thus, a lifter can work, for example, in both strength and hypertrophy modes within the same week. It is possible to combine these approaches, and I believe the wave-like approach is ideal from the point of view of minimizing injuries and, as it was said in the study above, maintaining a positive attitude to training. There is also the concept of cycling and periodization. I want to talk in more detail about periodization. If you take periodization in any industry, be it sports, bodybuilding, or any other industry, is always divided into periods. How do these periods differ? Of course, periods have some definite characteristics. For example, if we take strength training, in this period we work on muscle endurance, in the next period we develop strength, and the next period we have a competitive period, here we directly go to the peak. We are approaching competitions and so on. If we talk, for example, about bodybuilding, it will be a little bit different. The period of weight gain, the period of strength, the period of drying, the period of competition. That is, always, periodization is a division into certain periods of time, of course, which are characterized by certain characteristic features. It would be silly to make periods, or even pointless, which would be completely the same and would represent nothing. In any case, there is always some key principle, some key differences. What is cycling? Cycling from the word cycle implies the presence of some segments, which are exactly repeated. If we take, for example, a period of increasing strength. Within a period, there are certain cycles, and every cycle in general is also a period. But the thing is that we do not call the period as such just for one reason, that it does not have any characteristic features. So these are power cycles. That is, it is a certain regularity, a certain sequence. Conclusion. Time intervals that are generally similar to themselves are a cycle. Whatever the principles in the organization of the training process, the organization of the period, and the like, sooner or later, there is a psychological adaptation and adaptation of the already biological system with the position of adaptation. It sounds complicated, but in fact, everything is simple. For example, an athlete starts working in a lot of repetitions, and he seems to like everything. He feels a feeling of tightness in his muscles. His muscles answer him with growth. Working weights increase. He likes everything. But at one point, there is psychological apathy, and he wants to try something new. A lot of repetition no longer gives such positive psychological feelings, and the body gradually stops responding to such training. That is, there is no such muscle growth. It seems that a person does everything the same way, but he does not get such a result as in the beginning. Here he decides to come to something else, and as always, immediately there is, as a rule, a charge of motivation. There is an increase in results and the like. There is such a phrase: the best rest is a change of activity. It coincides with reality. Rest, as a rule, is not just lying down. It is any activity that differs from the usual routine. If a person is constantly working and rest for him, it can be, let's say, to go to the sea, for example, to rest, to go hiking in the woods, to go camping. It seems to be labor too. To go camping, you have to pack, do something. But there is a certain psychological attraction to it. But the psychological component in sports is one of the leading, one of the main. A person can force himself with a willful, deliberate effort to make himself do a certain one thing, but the body, even though it seems to be a willful effort to do it all, will no longer respond with positive shifts. The same thing happens in sports. In high-level sports literature, there is always a subdivision into stage periods and the like. That is, certain periods characterized by certain principles, certain features, in order to eventually get a certain, already concrete result. This is periodization. This is where the video ends. To help build a proper workout and nutrition plan, I can help in my online introduction in my Telegram. Link in the description. See you in the next video.